Welcome to today's workout. We are going to be focusing on our hips, both for strength and mobility. So strengthening and stretching, keeping them nice and happy. Hips will also affect how your body feels in other areas as well, most notably in the knees, and then the knees affect how the ankles feel. Low back. So we want to keep these hips nice and strong, nice and happy. We will be doing chair assisted yoga today. So all you need is your chair. If you have a couple of yoga blocks, that will be helpful. You can put them there under the front. Go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed, get set up, and we're going to get started right now. Very good, we are all ready to go. Let's go ahead and get warmed up, and we'll ease into some of our exercises. At the end, we will do an amazing stretch for the low back and the hips, create a lot of openness in that area as well as relaxation for you. So here we go. To the right side of the chair, and you're just going to lift the right hip and just make a nice circle. So almost as if the bottom of the foot were painting the floor. Keep a soft bend in your left leg. You're already working on a little bit of hip strength to keep this right foot off of the floor. Let's go ahead and do one more here. And then we'll step it back behind our chair. You can see I'm kind of at an angle here with it. You're going to be able to see I'm going to turn my toes out. I'm going to drop on down, and I'm just going to shimmy those hips side to side. I didn't leave myself a lot of room here, but you have hopefully unlimited space to take advantage of. Make sure that those knees are not going really far past the toes. As always, you can skip anything that does not feel good for your body today. And go ahead and make sure that you are tucking that booty forward, roll the spine forward a little bit, and then give me a shimmy in the shoulder as well. You can be doing this from a seated position. If this just doesn't work for you here, roll it on up, step it to the left side of the chair, and same thing. Draw that left foot up and paint the floor. So taking the foot forward and out. We're not moving the knee, we're not moving the ankle, we're just creating this nice movement in the hip, letting it open up and giving it a warning that it will be working a little bit today. One more here. And then we'll go ahead and step the right foot on the chair off towards that angle, and then push those hips back. This time, I know that if you guys have been with me before, normally we drop down into a really nice, deep hip opener here. We're not doing that today. We're just kind of knocking that hip back, and then bend that knee forward slightly so that it is over the ankle, and you should feel a different deep hip stretch there. And we'll go ahead and set that one down. And we're gonna step it behind our chair, stretching the outsides of the hips. So you're just going to gently guide this right hip in, stretching the outside of this left hip. You can lower the body a little bit until you find a deep enough stretch there. Don't force anything. Swing it back in, pause in the center, take it to the other side. Today is not about improving your balance. The chair is here because I want you to be able to focus on these hips and not worry about staying stable. So stretch through there, push. So you're not just bending, you're pushing this right hip out. Guide that in, step it back to the right side of your chair. Beautiful job so far. Same thing here, find some comfortable footing, and then go ahead, push the hips back, and then send, so that as you push the hips back, that probably sent the knee back just a little bit. Send that knee back forward, keeping those hips back, finding that stretch. Soft bend in your right leg. And then we will bring that up nice and easy. Hopefully those hips are starting to feel amazing and stretched out. They're gonna get a little bit of work here. We're gonna come to our chair. Hand goes to the middle of the chair so that you can put a little bit of pressure on it. And we're just gonna bend those hips towards the chair and straighten back. So just a nice little hip dip here. You're not moving the body, but you might feel a little stretch at the top of the hip, and that is okay. So go with me here. We're gonna do 10 on this side. If you already started, you'll get a few bonus ones. You can see that the movement is not big. Please make sure that you are not going to tip your chair over. If it is accessible for you and you have a wall, that would be great, much more stable. We are almost done. Keeping your core tight here. Good, 2 more, if my calculations are correct. Last one. And then go ahead, step towards the chair so that as you are standing next to it, your body is nice and tall. If you would like, you can get out a yoga block and stand on that. This may make the move a little bit easier to master. Wherever you are, if you do not have a yoga block, you are fine just standing on the floor. Soft bend in your left knee, but other than that, you will not be moving this side of the body at all. Drop your right foot to the floor by lowering the hip, and then bring that foot back up, maybe even a little bit higher than the left foot. 10 of those here. Obviously, if you are standing on the floor, you'll just be focusing on the lift. Abs tight. Good, you can kind of feel the top of the hip bones there, and you should feel the lowering and the lifting of the right side. Very good. Your standing leg, especially if you are on the block, is going to be working quite a bit here, creating a lot of strength, not just through the hips, but through the legs today also. We don't always have to move fast to do that. 2 more here. Don't rush through them. Last one. Beautiful job. Oh, that left leg. Nice and fussy. Kick that block back under your chair. Just make sure you don't have any tripping hazards. And we'll come to the left side of the chair. Same thing. Nice solid hand to the back of the chair. Step out from it just a little bit. If you are really working on strength, you can come close. So the farther away you are, the difficulty does increase a little bit there. 10 dips in with this right hip. Good. So using the chair, or better yet, a wall for stability. Good. Soft bend in those knees, but we are not moving them, so the movement isn't down here. Good. It's the hip to the chair. Lower and lift your upper body, and your feet stay where they are. So the hip slides out and in. I know these moves are a little bit different than what we are used to. So please be patient with yourself. Talk nice to yourself if it's taking a little bit of extra work to master them. Let yourself be a beginner. Nobody starts as the expert. Very good. Go ahead, grab one of those blocks from underneath your chair. Right leg, right foot finds the block. Make sure that your footing is nice and solid. Chair is here to support your balance. Soft bend in the right leg. Lift this left hip up and drop. 10 of those. Very good. Hang on here, you're almost halfway. Feel the warmth in that right leg. Feel yourself developing that strength. Flat foot here on the left for 3 more. And 1 beautiful step to the center of the back of your chair. Did that make sense? Come behind your chair and stand in the middle of it. Take the right foot out. We're going to lift this foot, bring it in, and just, you don't have to kick it, towards the chair. So here we have the hip flexor lifting. We have the inner thigh and hip adducting this leg, and adducting just means that it's coming towards the middle. It's meeting the midline of the body. Go with me here if you're not already. 10 of these. Good. Don't swing wildly. Lift, move slow. That's actually going to take a lot more work than moving with a lot of force or power. You do not need to kick your chair. Somehow I always manage to anyways, but at least I'm not kicking it hard. Last one here. Release that down, shimmy them out. You're gonna feel work again in both legs. I'm a bad example, I apologize. I should have put my block away. Make sure that your equipment that you are not actively using is under your chair. No tripping hazards. Center of the back of the chair. Same thing, step the left foot out, soft bend in your right leg, lift, draw it in, and return. 10 of those here. If you got a bonus few on the right side, if you started with me as I was demonstrating this, try to get in a couple bonus ones here on the left. Neutral foot, neutral toes, so we're not flexing them up, we're not extending them forward, just right in line. Letting, I feel it in my right leg, letting those legs work. Very good. Hang in here. And, oh, awesome job. So, right leg is getting fussy. Let's take it down and have a seat. Lots of work, lots of work. Go ahead and grab your blocks. If you have 2, stack them on top of each other and maybe turn them wide here. That's just going to give us a little bit of elevation here to take the outside of the foot, wiggle those hips back into the chair, let those knees fall open, sit on up nice and tall. You may or may not feel a stretch here just yet. If you do not feel a stretch, you can raise those feet higher. You can sit on the floor and take butterfly position there, or you can simply just lean the body forward slightly. You need to keep your hips heavy in the back to make sure that you're not gonna fall forward. Press those feet together. So shoulders should not be past mid-thigh. If so, I'm nervous that you will fall forward out of the chair, but this should be enough of a stretch here. I have a stretch on my right side only because that tends to be my tighter side for whatever mysterious reason. And then we will go ahead and take the left hand and just swing it over here. We're not going to pull the right leg up. We're actually just going to pull the body towards the right side and give you a nice back opener here. Bring it to the center and same thing here. So even if you do not feel an intense stretch in the hips in this position, they are hopefully lengthening and relaxing. Bring it in. Scoot those blocks further out. It will make our next exercise a little bit easier to have your non-working leg elevated. So just go ahead, step on those blocks. We'll hug this right knee in, and I'm going to grip my arms around this knee. And as I do that, I'm creating a little bit of a roadblock here. Now you can see I'm not pulling my foot all the way into my leg. That's a lot of stress in the knee. I'm gonna keep my foot out. I'm just pulling on the shin. The shin is much stronger than the knee joint, so give yourself a little bit of pressure there. As you do that, push the leg out 10 times. So push out and relax. So you'll feel those muscles working there. Relax and push. This is also a great place for a yoga strap if you have it. Good. Keep count of your pushes. We're going to do 10 of them total. Good. I am halfway there, so if you are pacing with me or you don't feel like counting, you just follow along. Release, push, and release. I'm not pulling with my arms. Again, I'm just creating that roadblock. Release. You should feel the hip working, some of those leg muscles working. 2 more. And 1. Awesome, awesome job there. Go ahead, set that leg down just for a second. We're gonna go back to it and we're gonna reverse that. So we're actually gonna put the hands in front of the thigh and try to pull that leg in, strengthening the hip flexor there in the front. Let's go ahead and do 10 of those here. So you can start from the block or from the floor, just draw that leg in. Hands provide just a little resistance. It does not take much. You can interlace those fingers. Pulse, hold, and release. Halfway there. Very good. I feel this. This is tough. 9 and 10. Very good. Now you have the option to draw this leg over the left leg here. Having this elevated is going to be a much more intense hip stretch. So if it is too much as we lean ourselves up and forward, just kick those blocks to the right side. We will need them over there anyhow. So wiggle those hips back, sit on up nice and tall. I am not forcing or pushing anything on my knee down. I'm just lengthening my spine up, taking my chest forward just a little bit. If you do not have blocks and you are on the floor, you'll be able to lean forward a little bit further. Also, if you need to pull out of the stretch and back off of it just a little bit, same thing, just scoot the blocks over to the right side. Release this right leg down to them, elevating here. If you don't have the blocks, it's the same thing. You just kind of come to the ball of the foot, pillow, books, whatever you have handy. You don't have to have fancy equipment. Good, so same thing, not wrenching that foot and heel towards my leg. I'm leaving it out to leave space in my knee joint. Creating a little roadblock here with my arms or your yoga strap. Push it forward, hold, release. So if you just repeat, push, hold, release. 10 times. You are halfway there. 5 more. This side may be stronger or it might be more challenging. Good. Either way, we want to keep it strong or we want to give it the opportunity to catch up. You are doing an awesome job. 3 more. And the last one, push, hold, release. Take that one down and go ahead. I like diamond hands. Sometimes I like to interlace the fingers. You will find your own way of what works best for you. Same thing here, just pushing the knee in against the hands 10 times. Push, hold, release. Halfway there. Three more. Last one. Very good. It's getting tired. Release. Take it down. Same thing here. You can cross this leg over and take a deeper stretch for this hip. You do not have to. You can kick those blocks out. Sit on up nice and tall and just kind of stretch that chest forward. Knee is nice and relaxed. If you feel pressure in your knee, lower the legs. If you still feel pressure in the knee, then this stretch just might not be for you today, especially with fussy knees. Some days I just really have to admit that it's not the day that the knee can tolerate it and I have to just skip it and modify. It's frustrating, but what can you do? Just stretch extra good on the days it feels good, I suppose. Hang in here. Release that back up. Set that left foot to the floor. The blocks are already on the right side, so we will keep them there and we'll just take them out a little bit further. So we all have different leg lengths, so the distance for you may be different than what it is for me. I do not have very long legs. So heel on the block, toes come all the way up. You're just gonna lean forward until you feel that hamstring stretch. You can even increase the height of your block to deepen the stretch if you need to. You can absolutely keep a small bend in the knee if they are very tight. The hamstrings, if you think about the hamstrings, you know, they run from the hip down to the knee and then, you know, so it's kind of pulling on the hip all day long as we move and go about our daily activities. So keeping the rest of the body loose will also decrease tension that you feel in that one particular area. So, you know, if your low back is sore, I suggest stretching your low back, your glutes, and your middle and upper backs. Stretch the whole area, lengthen it all out. It's all a chain. They're all connected. Ease the body up. Take that foot down. Hopefully that leg feels pretty good, especially after all that work. Here we go, just reposition your blocks. For the left leg, sit on up, nice and tall. And like folding a piece of paper, keeping the spine nice and long so we're not slouching, we're not getting into the low back at all. All we want is hamstring here. Hold it in. And release that back. Go ahead and take those hips wide. Hug them to the back of your chair. Walk, maybe scoot your blocks in a little bit too. Walk yourself forward and land on those blocks and just let the body roll forward. You still need to be pushing the hips into the chair. You can lift to the balls of the feet. You can raise those heels, a little bit of a deep hip stretch here. If you hate it, you can skip it and just take a forward fold straight down to the floor. Draw those legs in, and we'll all eventually meet in that forward fold anyhow. Go ahead and tuck those blocks back under the chair. Nice and easy. Let that low back really stretch forward. Walk yourself off over that right leg. And same thing here. Loose and relaxed through the neck and the shoulders. And then through the center over to the left side. And then back to the center. Roll yourself on up easy here. Again, nice wide stance. Drop. Take those hips all the way back behind your chair, or you can stand if that's comfortable for you. Bend those knees and take a nice, easy side to side sway here wherever you are. Hips are stretching, low back is stretching, everything hopefully feels good. Take it down to the floor or to your blocks and slide them back out. Roll it up nice and easy. Cross the right leg over. Hopefully this stretch will feel a little bit different than it did at the beginning. Draw this in. I am just going to rest my right arm over the back of the chair, so I'm kind of locking to the back of my chair, locking my right leg into my left arm. And I'm just going to sit here and take some nice deep breaths in. I feel a lot of tension in through this right hip. And rather than fight it and tense up and let it create more stress, I'm just going to take those nice, good, deep breaths. Using the sound of my breath and the extra oxygen to cope with this discomfort and let it release. You can take some neck circles here. And then take that down nice and easy. Same thing on the other side. So go ahead, lock that in with the right arm. I'm also going to loop my left arm over the back of the chair, although this one isn't nearly as bad, thankfully. Hold here and breathe. And then release that one down. We'll step and turn ourselves towards the right. And I'm going to show you the seated modification first. You're just going to extend that left leg back as far as you can get it comfortably. Bring the body up, stretching the front of the hip flexor, or you can make your way out of the chair and take the same thing standing. In that case, move the chair so you can see. You'll work that heel to the floor, push that knee back, lengthen the body up until you have that stretch right here in the front. Either option is a good one. The stretch is the same. It's just how you get there and how comfortable you are in it. Release. Give me a nice circle here. Heavy in your right hip. Reverse that. And then bring it to the other side. Same thing here. You can take this standing if you would like. Either way, knee and heel kick back. Lengthen the spine up. Hug those abs in to support that. Stretching here through the front. Release it back down. Couple of circles out. And then we'll take one in. And then we will again face ourselves to the front. We'll inhale, take those arms all the way up, reach nice and tall. Not a lot of this upward movement today. Exhale, scoop that body forward. Let the stomach hit the thighs and relax there. Roll yourself back up and in, hug those abs in. When you feel your back hit the back of the chair, send those legs forward, cross those hands in the lap, drop the shoulders down, far away from the ears, chin to the chest. And then you just start to breathe like you are on vacation. Relax your body. Practice thinking nice things about yourself. And then draw in a nice good deep breath in as you sit up out of your chair. Open your eyes, hands to the heart. Namaste, take that forward. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate this workout, the time that we spend together. I know it's not really together, but thank you for choosing to work out with me today. I am honored and I appreciate you all so much. Until our next workout, you guys know the routine. Take good care of yourselves. Eat nutritious food. Make sure that you are staying hydrated. It's June, crazy. So especially as the weather warms up, take good care of yourselves. And I will definitely see you guys again soon.